Hey everybody, welcome to Blue Ribbon Lounge Podcast. This is Matt Nicky.
And this is Dave.
He's here too. We got a special guest for you today. Got a lot going on in the basement. It might be a weird sounding episode, but that's okay because we're here and you're here, and that's love, baby.
So we're all here.
We're here and we're doing it.
The fanciful, sexy gentleman you hear now is
The smooth tones.
of Paul. Paul, do we use your full name? Just Paul? What do you prefer anything?
Let's roll with just Paul.
Okay, we'll do that. Thank you so much for coming down to the lounge.
Well, guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're excited that you wanted to come. That means a lot to us.
Yeah, we always like to have guest speakers.
People excited to talk.
Absolutely.
Also, we stopped and got a little sweet treat because Paul was going to be on here. We thought we'd do something kind of fun.
Do a little review kind of thing.
Yeah, we got some Kick Serve energy drinks and coffee. I think Kick Serve is maybe a chain. They got another one coming up. But I don't know who makes a chain of coffee energy drink restaurants about tennis. That doesn't seem terribly popular.
Yeah, tennis and soccer related.
Yeah. So all the drinks are like different serves or different types of verbiage.
Words.
Yeah.
Tennis words.
Yeah. So if you hear some ice clinking around, that's probably not going away. A little ASMR for you. I think I got, what did I get? The twist serve, and it's blueberry lime or raspberry lime. Blue raspberry lime.
Ooh.
It's good. It's my go-to.
Yeah, I got the overhead, which was orange and vanilla.
Oh, that's like a creamsicle.
It's exactly what it tastes like.
Is it rad? Is it good?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I don't know, rad, but
Oh.
delicious.
Good. Tasty.
That
How about
is-
you, Paul? What'd you get?
I got a chai tea latte.
Yeah?
Which is, I'm a big latte person, so this is right up there with basically anything I would get from Starbucks
Yeah.
on that same side. So
All right.
Yeah, it's a cute little spot. It was like the size of a storage container,
Yeah, it's
which
just
is the popular thing.
like just a drive-through
Yeah,
area. It's
yeah.
kind of like what like Atomic does.
Yeah. And everybody loves Atomic. I feel like they're probably, outside of maybe Starbucks, they're probably like the number one coffee joint. Maybe Red Band, but
In this area?
yeah.
Yeah, Coffee Hound, I think, is kind of up there too, I thought.
Disagree.
I don't
Politely disagree.
know. I mean, I haven't I think I've had their drip coffee. It's not so great, but
Yeah.
I just know people like local
Enjoy it?
enjoy
Oh. It? Coffee Hound?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I said I had their drip coffee. It wasn't so good.
Oh, okay.
I have not had anything from there, so I cannot really add to that.
Where's your go-to, Paul? What do you like to do? Or what have you done lately maybe that's new? A little out and about situation.
I'll start with the first part of that. Probably the best coffee I usually get is basically Starbucks.
Yeah.
I'm online with them all the way. But as far as doing anything interesting lately, a few weeks ago I did go see the Wienermobile.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
You showed me your little wiener when you got to work.
What?
Whoa, don't be sharing that.
It's a
Anyway.
good size, Paul. It's a good size.
Perfect. Anyway, so I did see the Wienermobile the day after I got married on the highway, and I did get them to honk the horn. I tried extremely hard.
I just imagine you were tailing them for hours.
Are you doing that trucker thing? The
Yes.
trucker arm?
I was in a perfect spot. There was not a lot of traffic. He was heading towards me. I had my arm, which is good sized, fully out the window, and my wife Laura was kind of discouraging me a little bit on it. But it did happen. The horn went.
Yeah.
Is that your your love thing now? Is like every time you see an Oscar Mayer or every time you have a ballpark Frank, you're like, I love you, baby.
I could just reach down into the meat compartment of the fridge and hold it up and take a big old wink at her.
Yeah, the instant brownie points.
Well, now you have the whistle. You can be like, whoop, whoop.
Yeah. I tried to get more than one whistle. The guy was not having it. I wanted desperately to get inside of the Wienermobile.
Check it out.
They were not having it. I did, I think, talk them into going into get pizza at Wild Bill's.
Where's that at?
Or no, which Bill's is it? On Locust there? Uncle Bill's. Uncle Bill's. So they were just basically looking for pizza. I'm like, well, down the road is Uncle Bill's.
I don't know if I've ever had that, but I'm pretty sure it's like a pretty pretty Quad City style pizza, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you can really go wrong with that.
No.
Speaking of pizza, I went to Your Pie. Have you ever heard of that place?
I have heard of it. I've never had it.
It's over on 53rd, across from that Green Tree Credit Union, or kind of like by where, on the other side of 53rd from like Ross's and that like Five Cities Brewery or whatever.
Yes.
But it's like they just pretty much specialize in personal pizzas.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a Subway situation where you they have a crust and you put what you want on it.
Yeah, they have like the specialty ones that you can just order, or you can just make your own. Kind of like Chipotle, but for pizza.
Oh, that sounds great.
It was delicious. Because I got the buffalo chicken and it was a little spicy, had a little kick to it. And my kid got the marinara one, or margarita, where it's like mozzarella,
margarita, and
tomato.
Is it usually got peppers and onions on it?
No, I think it's very simple, like just tomato, the big chunks of mozzarella, and maybe some. She got a sweet basil drizzle.
That sounds good.
Yeah, and my old lady got a pesto Alfredo.
Okay.
Which, even there, because that was like a pasta.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that was good.
Yeah. So they had other stuff too?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd recommend it.
Okay, cool.
Nice. Now, how expensive was it between the small and the large?
Oh, for an actual large?
Yeah.
I'd say it was probably $7 to $8, depending on what specialty you got, and then the large was probably 18 to 20.
Okay.
Regular pizza prices.
That's not terrible. You remember the size of the large?
I don't know. We just all got little personal ones. There was a 7-inch and a 10-inch, and then the large was 18, I think.
Wonderful.
Dang, this kick serve is just making me burp. It's all bubbly.
Yeah.
So my story for today was last night my kid was over a little bit later than usual before going to his mom's, and so we dropped him off at his mom's at 9, and got home, shit, shower, shave, and then laid down in bed, and it was 10 o'clock. Kind of toss and turn for a little bit, and I'm just man, I feel like I'm forgetting something. And then I'm just the fucking podcast. I got to edit and post the podcast. And so I get up, come downstairs. It's 11 o'clock, maybe 11:30. I edit the podcast for an hour and a half. It's 12 o'clock, 12:30. Head back upstairs, get into bed, kind of toss around a little bit, go to sleep. Wake up at 5 a.m. to go to work. Get into work, see Dave. And I'm oh, Dave, I got to tell you this story. So I go through the whole rigmarole, and he's it's an off day.
Yeah, it's our off week.
So I had to get onto the computer, or get onto my phone and delete the episode and reschedule it for next week. But now I don't have to worry about it, so that's cool.
Yeah, you already got it edited and everything.
Isn't that horrible how easily our minds can trick us into doing such habitual things?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really the last 4 episodes, and I appreciate any of you listeners still out there listening, because it has just been a roller coaster of a ride for getting episodes online. But it'll hopefully be up there. It will be up there.
It will be up there, because if you're hearing this one, you already heard that one.
Yeah, right. So. And we normally do one in the can. I think we're going to kind of maybe lean away from that now, right? Are we talking about that?
Yeah, that way it's more we record on the Monday, and then the next Monday it comes out. That way it's closer to
time
being relevant.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff we talk about, or
I like promoting the car shows and the things my wife does, and I am so bad at planning, but we're going to try something different.
Yeah, because I think this one will be on the 15th,
Yes.
but a little behind the curtain, it's the 25th of the
July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting to see how you guys plan all this out.
Yeah, it's all about time traveling, Paul. If we weren't such good time travelers,
Yes.
I don't know what we would do.
You are now a time traveler, Paul.
Yeah, Paul. Imagine listening to this. What would you say to yourself 14 days into the future?
Oh
14
my
days?
gosh.
Or is it 21 days into the future?
It's like 3 weeks.
3 weeks, 21 days, right?
Yeah.
Say something to yourself, Paul.
I don't think we have enough time to cover all that. I feel like I could go on to that topic for a long time.
The next one. That'll be the whole next podcast. That's what we should do if we ever do a convention is, hey, say something to your future self.
To your future self.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Give 'em
It's
the winning
different
lotto
when you're
numbers.
in the past and you're telling your future self something. And see, you'd want your future self to tell your past self something like, hey, invest in Yahoo or Google. Probably.
Hey, John, watch out for that car.
The cereal has expired.
Yes.
Well, now that we've bullshitted for long enough. Did you have anything else, Davey?
No, Maddie.
Oh, okay. July. Was there something I was going to say in August? Simcoe Shakedown? August 13th?
Oh, it would have been the weekend right before this comes out.
Oh, fuck. Damn.
All right. Tell your future self.
Oh, yeah. Future Matt, remember to talk about Iron Invasion in October, Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds. It'll be a good time. Remember to do that next episode.
There you go.
Maybe that'll work.
You just need those little ringers in your life, like your phone, to just remind you.
Blink.
Yep.
Yeah. I like to write stuff down. Because I couldn't even find my calendar because Google wants me to like download something to just have a calendar.
Dude, Google Calendar. It's obviously the most efficient for your Android phone.
No, I'm sure I can find. Just go on the internet and be like calendar.
Yeah, if you want to not get shit done.
Yeah, but when it's like Google Calendar, let me have access to your photos, your camera, your microphone.
You
your
could say no to
history,
all those
your
things.
contacts. No, it's part of the agreement.
All right, put your tinfoil hat back on.
Dave, just stop taking pictures of all the safe combinations for all your safes out there, and you'll be fine.
Oh, is that what I'm not? Oh, damn it.
What do you like to do to get things done, Paul? You got a house, so I know you got chores. And you got an old lady, so I know you got twice as many chores.
So we have this rad, big calendar.
Oh,
So
okay.
then basically off of this main calendar, which my work schedule, like your guys's, doesn't really change a whole lot, Monday through Friday. My wife's changes very often. We'll have on there when she works, when I work, when the sitter will be at her house, when the sitter will be at a different house, and then any appointments and everything we just have on just one big dry erase calendar. It is helpful, except when I forget to put things on the calendar I have at work
Oh.
onto this mega calendar. And it just kind of messes everything up. And it's like, oh, well, now I got to do this. And it's like, well, I got to work. And I picked up a shift for somebody. Oh, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, life is full of those types of things. Me and my wife just got this app called Flock. And by just, I mean, like, we've probably had it for a year. We don't use it too heavily, but it's like for making lists. You can make lists and like to-do chores and stuff like that.
Ooh.
So like whenever we go out of town, we make a new list for like shit we got to do. And then we have, the grocery list on there. So in case I'm at the store, I know what she wants or what we need and the same things.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I like that grocery list one because we have
Grocery list.
a calendar because my old lady's shift changes all the time, so she puts it up, as she gets it. And then, if there's like appointments or if I've got a podcast or different stuff, we just put it on the calendar. We have a nice Norman Rockwell one.
Ooh, did you get that at Office Max?
BAM, I think, actually. Because always around Christmas time, they have like just racks and racks of calendars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a weirdo because I'll look and like look for the one that I want. Because you got to look at it all year. You don't want to just grab one and it's like just a bunch of cats. Like
We got Cat Star Wars.
oh,
Cat Wars.
there you go.
I would be all over that.
Cat Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Who doesn't like a kitten Darth Vader?
So
Right.
what's the calendar you got right now, Dave?
Norman Rockwell.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
All right, ready to get into it? Don't need any more ice.
I thought I was far enough away.
Nope. No such thing.
Crunch, crunch.
So Paul, do you want to introduce the topic since it was your idea?
This is something that I feel like deserves a lot more credit on our planet, and I feel like it just gets kind of brushed aside. The Mariana Trench people.
You know what? I never knew anybody so passionate about the Mariana Trench. I used to call it the Marianas Trench.
It's actually both.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's good for me.
Mariana or Marianas with an S at the end.
Oh, okay. That sounds good for me. I guess I'd imagine a lot of places would say it different. Although it was kind of discovered in a time where most civilizations had been pretty discovered.
Yes.
And we wouldn't have never found it without the technology we have.
Well, it was discovered in 1875 by the Challenger expedition. And they just set out they were the first people to do the broad outline of the shape of the ocean basin. Basically with just like a bunch of ropes and thermometers and like nets. It's just collecting samples and seeing how deep it is by just like drop it like Marking Twain pretty much.
Which is crazy because like you'd have to have like I was just thinking about the amount of rope. Or like for what we talk about in the future,
Yes.
like tubings and cables and like miles and miles of rope.
Yeah, it sounds like it'd just be a ton to kind of go about it that way.
Well, they had, because when they found the trench, they had 28,850 feet. Yeah, and then they were like, "You still can't touch the bottom." And they're like, "Well, this is the deepest spot." Like,
Yeah.
and so then they actually didn't even know how far it went down when they found it.
Yeah, and they found it. It's located between Hawaii and the Philippines near Guam. It's a crescent-shaped dent in the Pacific Ocean. 1,500 miles wide and 43 miles, or 1,500 miles long, 43 miles wide. Its deepest point is almost 7 miles, or 11,034 meters for you metric friends.
Yes, or 36,201 feet.
So much math.
It's well, and to me, it's like, and then I only have one example of this, but to me, it's like, I don't know how far that is. You know, I don't know anything. If you were to say like 1,900 jumbo jets, you know, I could maybe picture that.
Yeah.
But it's like when you're at that scale, it's so like unimaginable.
Oh yeah, it's just mind blowing to think about how that can be perceived so many different ways.
Yeah.
I feel bad for those guys and all that rope.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have had to have like some sort of secondary vessel or something, right?
A boat full of rope.
I just imagine one guy like just pulling the rope back up, just like
Yeah.
10 miles of rope.
It's like a really bad magic trick. Like it just keeps going and going.
I would definitely be the guy on the ship to stand behind him and cut it.
Jeez. It just goes down.
Let's go back to port and get more rope.
But you were saying like, as far as saying like 36,201 feet, if you were to put Mount Everest at the bottom, there'd still be 7,000 feet of water above it.
That's so crazy. And I don't know if I've said this little tidbit before on the pod, but it's like my favorite thing to quote. And it's a quote from Neil deGrasse Tyson, is that if you were to shrink the Earth down to the size of a marble, and Everest being its highest peak, and the Marianas Trench being its lowest valley, that marble would still be smoother than like anything that we could man make.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
Or if like a giant grabbed the earth, it would just be kind of like a marble.
Yeah, it'd be so smooth. Like even with that difference, that variable size.
Wow, I've never once heard of that.
Yeah. Isn't it kind of mind-blowing?
I'm learning so much today.
You want to say anything about the trench?
Yeah, I have a few things here. The United States has a monument at the trench site.
Oh,
What
yeah.
is? Do you know what that is? What it means?
Just that there's a monument at the trench site.
Well-
I literally did not get any more information on that.
We'll have to try to. Are you in our Facebook group, Paul?
I don't know if I am
You
yet.
son of a bitch. You will be by the end of this episode.
damn it.
We'll have to try to throw up a picture of that monument in the Facebook group if we can find it.
Yeah.
We can't. We gotta wait till the episode comes out, though. I think
Yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah, it just depends. We can always do teasers.
Yeah, I won't do it until the episode. But if somebody else does, that's fine.
I did find a person to do both scale Mount Everest and go down in the Mariana Trench.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
Because I heard that only 3 people have been in the Marianas Trench.
Yeah. So mind you, this was on Wikipedia.
His name was I.C. Wiener.
How did you know? Vanessa O'Brien, a British American explorer.
Okay, and you know what? When I said there's only been 3 people in the Marianas Trench, there's only been 3 people in the deepest part of the Marianas Trench.
Challenger Deep.
Challenger Deep,
Yeah.
yeah.
So basically, the only other thing I had was the location of it. Would be Japan would be to the north, Philippines to the west, Guam to the east, and the south would be New Guinea, which is basically above Australia.
Okay. Pacific Ocean.
Pacific Ocean.
So I had seen that there was potentially like a volcano eruption. And you know what? I didn't look too much into how it was created. But this is just something I'm trying to think off the top of my head that I saw. I think it was made by like a volcano that made islands, and then those islands maybe sank or something.
Well,
Is that wrong?
it's part of the subduction zone
Okay, tell me about that.
where it's the Pacific.
I prefer the seduction zone.
The seduction. Okay, well, it's where the Pacific plate slowly slides seductively under the Marianas, smaller Marianas plate, causing a trench like as it goes under. Which makes me wonder when that earthquake in Japan happened, if that did anything to the Marianas Trench, because that's the same plate that
Like sprang up.
the other side sprang, the Indonesian plate sprung up. But,
Okay.
but that also would have shifted the Atlantic plate farther down. So I wonder if maybe if they checked it again, it's maybe even deeper now, or
When was that?
not as deep.
When was that typhoon? Tsunami?
Oh, it was
2008?
maybe. Yeah,
That sounds about right.
but the volcanoes you were talking about are on the Marianas side of the plate, and with all that grinding going on, there's a release that happens, and it makes
Killing me.
islands. That's how it works.
And that's how baby islands
yeah,
are born.
when one plate loves another plate.
There's so much burning.
Yes, not enough lube.
Some of the stuff I had seen was like this at the southern end of the trench is the Challenger Deep, which sits 36,070 feet and is the deepest part of the trench. Like that almost doesn't sound right. Here's some kind of scale stuff. So, the deepest part is the Challenger Deep, 36,070 feet. Most of ocean life lives at 660 feet. And that's as deep as the sun penetrates.
Yeah.
That's like 90%, probably mostly because it's like little kelp creatures or whatever, little bacteria. nuclear submarines can go as deep as 850 feet.
Right.
You know how deep whales can go? Are usually seen? Throw out a
Inform me.
guess. Throw a guess. Just a number.
1,200 feet.
I would go. That sounds about right.
They're not usually seen below 8,200 feet. So they can go
Okay.
pretty deep. And the Titanic sank to a depth of 12,467 feet.
We're not getting that one back.
We got some stuff back.
Yeah, and I think that's because James Cameron went down into the Challenger Deep,
Yeah.
and when he was, because he made the movie Titanic, but then he also made a documentary about it, and he made a lot of designed a lot of the unmanned drone submarines to go down and explore the Titanic.
Oh, maybe that's how we got some of the stuff back.
And that, yeah, but then because of those designs, then he was able to create the submarine that helped design the submarine that he went down into the deep in.
Yeah, when he was down there, the pressure started affecting the submarine. It started causing the batteries to drain quickly. His sonar died, and some of his submarine thrusters malfunctioned while he was down there.
Ugh.
And they say it's like when you're in the Challenger Deep. I think they say it's. I heard both 100 and 1,000 times more pressure than 1 atmospheric pressure.
It's 1,000 times.
Okay.
Because on say at sea level, you're at 14.7 pounds per square inch is pushing down on you or in on you. And at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, it's 16,000. So it's about, over 1,000 times of atmosphere that's at sea level. And that's 12 times the atmosphere that's on Venus, because Venus is the most atmospherically dense planet in our solar
with
system.
all those clouds.
Yeah, and all the, what do they call that?
Ozones.
Greenhouse gases. Yeah. Because they're 1,350 pounds per square inch. And I guess they said that's 50 jumbo jets. If you stacked them on top of yourself, that's what 16,000 pounds per square inch would feel like.
50 jumbo jets. I mean, that fucking ain't shit.
Well, a cool thing that I found out was that they always said that, say you were down there and you opened up your submarine or whatever, they would say you'd get crushed or your bones would liquefy. That's actually a myth. Because they've found intact whales.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because there's it's called a deadfall because they die and then they just sink and then usually roll down into the trench.
I think it's called a carrier fall.
Yeah.
I think that's the technical name for it.
Deadfall. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just heard that too. I thought,
Okay. Yeah.
interesting.
But there was some biologist that I read on Reddit. They was saying
The front page of the internet.
I know. Yeah. That your inner ear would pop because any place that has air in your body would get crushed. The air would get pushed out. So your lungs,
your ears would implode.
pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a way to go.
Yeah. And then
You'd be a legend.
Number one, ultimate winner.
right. And then the air in your lungs would get pushed out, and then your organs would kind of fill in the gaps. So you would kind of get skinnier, and your rib cage would crack. But all your water and blood and stuff, the pressure would actually equal out. It would equalize. So if you some mobster tied you to a brick and threw you over the Marianas Trench, by the time you got to the bottom, you would still look the same.
Look about the same.
But you'd just be a blob.
Well, I mean, you would still be you'd probably be a little bit skinnier from when your rib cage cracked.
So I would look a little bit better.
Yeah.
I'd lose this dad gut.
But then, after a month, all the little organisms down there would probably have you picked clean.
Okay, so on that note, you guys want to talk about a shipwreck that fell into the Marianas Trench, kind of like a mobster tossing a person over in there? Or do you want to talk about the creatures of the Marianas Trench, Paul?
Oh, we're at a divide. What do we pick? I've seen some good-looking creatures, but I do like a good shipwreck.
Let's do the shipwreck first. It's shorter. So the USS Johnson, a World War II destroyer during World War II, as it happens, was in a battle with a Japanese vessel. The ship was destroyed. It is the deepest shipwreck ever found. You want to guess when it was found? I like guessing in this episode.
1980.
72.
2019.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Not much effort put in.
and it was identified not until 2021.
All right.
It was more than 20,000 feet below the ocean surface.
Jeez.
That was it. Short, sweet.
Yeah. And I think I saw someone that it was, besides the damage it took from the fight it was in, that it was mainly intact because down there's not a lot of oxygen. Like the water's not as oxygenated.
It's not going to rust.
So it's not going to rust.
I never would have thought of that.
Yeah. The only thing that would be is like bacteria or parasites that kind of eat at that kind of stuff.
Segue into biologists for a long time were skeptical if anything could live under such extreme circumstances in the Challenger Deep. And when do we want to talk about maybe Jacques Picard first?
And Don Walsh?
Yeah, we totally skipped that. I like to do the history first.
Yeah.
And we totally kind of just been bouncing around. Let's do that first before I get into some of the critters of the deep.
Yes. That was those two fellows were the first guys to descend into the Challenger Deep in January 23rd, 1960.
Damn, got the day down and everything.
Yeah. And they were in a ship called the Trist, or the Trista.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, it was also like a something ship bath type submarine.
Yeah, it looked like a submarine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was a submarine. It went
Marine.
But their descent took 5 hours. So they were pretty much going 1.4 miles per hour.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because
to like level out like your body, or you think?
I think because I don't think you can descend that fast. But you would think they're pressurized in there, so it wouldn't really matter.
That's true.
I just think just letting the ballast out and just floating down.
I mean, it's like 100% friction. You're in water.
Yeah.
I wonder if they really didn't trust the vessel.
Well,
it was the first one, man.
yeah.
No crash test dummies.
Picard said that as they were going out, you hear like crackling the whole way.
Oh god.
Like ants like crawling on the outside. And at one point they heard a large bang, and the outer one of their windows cracked. And they decided, they're like, no, let's keep going.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Roll the dice. Why not?
Yeah. Fucking making history, baby.
Yeah.
You ain't first, you're last.
Talking about that, you ever see the movie U-571? It's a submarine movie. I think it's World War II.
No.
I don't think I have either.
It's pretty good. I really like it. It's probably one of my, I guess, I was going to say top 5 movies. Probably more like top 50.
Oh, okay.
Just because there's a lot of movies out there. But it's about a submarine, and it's a convoluted story where they switch to a German submarine, it's an American crew that's an American sub, and somehow they switched to a German sub, and they're trying to get maybe documents to the U.S., and there's a lot of scenes where they're like trying to navigate around destroyers and stuff like that, and it's like a lot of silence and a lot of just like and stuff like that in there. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. It's almost like Hunt for Red October.
Yeah,
where they have to be like super quiet because so the sonar can't hear them, or the listeners, however they work.
Yeah.
Because if you actually think about it, when they're operating those subs and destroyer, how far do you think a destroyer sits down in the water? It's got to be quite a ways.
Yeah.
So in that sub is probably what, a couple hundred more feet underneath of it.
Yeah.
So and you just think like, my gosh, the way they're able to pick up that stuff, it's kind of mind blowing.
Yeah. But I mean, it's in water.
Yeah.
So it's like the way sound moves is through molecules. But I guess I don't know, like, maybe the more molecules that it vibrates, it might lose momentum or continue the momentum. I don't know physics that well, but
I would think that it would be more friction.
Like when you have a jump rope and you like whip it and it creates like a wave going all the way down and it slowly gets smaller.
Yeah, but if you have like a chain and you try to whip it, it probably won't go as far as your jump rope.
Yeah, maybe. That's science, baby.
Yeah.
We're going to do a whole podcast episode on whipping chains and jump ropes.
Sign me up.
Paul's up for 3 episodes now.
For the whipping episode. And they only stayed down there for 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And when they first got down there, they did see a couple fish. But when they hit the bottom, so much silt flew up that they couldn't really see anything.
Hit the bottom. Like, there was no stopping that.
Yeah. And they pretty much hung out, took some pictures, took a selfie, and then went back up.
As you do.
And
that was the first time.
That was the first time.
I had heard 3 people had gone down into the Challenger Deep, but I only got 2 stories. Which is crazy because like thousands of people have climbed Mount Everest.
Yeah.
It just kind of shows. And even like 30 people have been into space.
Yeah.
But only like 3 people have been
right.
into
and only
the depths.
In 2 vehicles. I think that's why you get the 2 stories.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because
the 2 guys were down there together.
Yeah. The 2 guys in the first one.
Celebratory kisses.
No, I think they shook hands and they're like, "You want to go back?" Yep.
You want to go patch up that window?
Yeah.
Just in time for happy hour.
Right. Another 5 hours going up.
So some of the creatures that are down there, they originally didn't think anything could survive. But they did end up finding, and I guess I'm not 100% sure if this is the whole Marianas Trench or the Challenger Deep, because maybe I wasn't too specific on searching.
I think it's the whole Marianas Trench because it's kind of like trying to see how deep it is. Mm-hmm. You'll get so many different numbers. It's because it's covering the whole trench and not just the deepest part.
Yeah. And I think there were like little bacteria and little like planktony thingies in the Challenger Deep. But one thing I found that was just in the trench in general are in 1998 they discovered the Hierondelia gigas, a large arthropod species. And an arthropod is a creature with an exoskeleton, segmented body, and paired jointed appendages.
Nope.
No.
So like the creepy crawlies.
Keep it there.
Well, that's like a lobster kind of.
A lobster, crab,
cockroach.
Yeah. The video I was watching on this, they were like, the largest, or this extremely gigantic arthropod, and it was like 2 inches long.
Yeah.
It's like how big is big. But to give you an idea, A normal size arthropod is like 2 to 3 centimeters. So it's just like a plankton-y type deal,
Right.
like teeny tiny. And this specific arthropod, which we were talking about, that ship that hasn't gotten too destroyed. This specific arthropod has evolved to break down and use aluminum within its shell to protect itself from the pressure. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Under pressure. Sing it, Paul.
Under pressure.
Beautiful.
So it's kind of like a reverse Wolverine.
Yes.
Instead of adamantium, it's got
Aluminium.
yeah, and there's a lot of life down there too. And I think there's like an amoeba that's actually like 4 inches long, where normally they're like almost microscopic.
Yeah, it's a good size.
Yeah.
So they got some things growing down there to extreme proportions versus the ones that are up here.
This is oddly the most dirty episode we've done. Paul, you bring out the worst in us.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
A couple other weird things is a farfin sea devil.
Yeah.
And it's like, it looks like a ball with like these crazy fins coming off of it. And they're super long.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll pull up a picture.
Well, do you have
Do I have what?
written down the Dumbo jellyfish? Squid, yeah.
Yeah.
The Dumbo squid.
No, I don't have that one.
Goblin shark,
Goblin shark is good.
Goblin shark.
anglerfish.
A sea squirt.
Sea squirt. I thought the Dumbo squid was cool though, because it actually does look like Dumbo flying around with his ears, with his like elephant legs
I've seen
hanging down.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the deepest living squid, or the squid that lives the deepest, obviously, because it's in the trench.
And then I don't know if you came across, there was a video of like a 60-foot shark.
I didn't see that.
I don't know if that one was fake or not.
Megalodon.
Well, they're kind of comparing it to it that a megalodon is generally 70 feet, so it's pretty big, pretty close to the size. But the tooth structure in the video, you couldn't see the tooth structure of the shark, where like shark's teeth are generally smaller proportioned to the body, as opposed to a megalodon's teeth are larger proportioned to their body.
Interesting.
But it had like it was like pretty blotchy, like almost kind of like urban camo, and it had like you could just see one white eye, like a doll's eyes.
I wonder if it was just a giant worm, a giant ocean worm.
No, this thing was
Yeah.
like, it looked like a shark for sure. But there was a thing that I had seen, and it was supposed to be maybe a jellyfish, and it looked like a giant see-through blanket.
Really?
Yeah, and it was like, it looked like just like a plastic bag like blowing in the wind. And they theorized that maybe this thing like would surround its whole prey and just kind of like eat it, like maybe
Shrink down on it.
Yeah, shrink down on it, maybe squirt some chemical, or like maybe feed it to its, like kind of manipulate it towards its mouth or something.
Yeah, dissolve it maybe.
Yeah, like some kind of Venus flytrap thing.
Interesting.
The sea squirt, I believe, is kind of like a Venus flytrap, if I'm right. Whereas it looks like a piranha plant from Mario, but like see through.
Yeah.
And when so it like slowly open its mouth, and then it looks like a balloon, and when something gets close, it like shuts its mouth really quick. That was pretty interesting looking.
Cool.
Yeah. That's all I had for.
I can't wait till you get one of them on the wall down here, Matt. What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
Right? Just go
Taxidermied.
They're readily available.
That would be pretty cool. It would be cool to get a goblin shark down here.
Oh my god.
What else? What else? Oh, I got some bad news, but we can save that for later.
We got some interesting tidbits.
Tidbits.
On both the Tricia, the first descent, and James Cameron's descent.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he's French, so it's probably James Cameron.
He's so Canadian.
French Canadian, yes, Cameron.
And James Cameron spent like 3 hours down there.
Yeah,
Like getting video and pictures.
And he was like in this little cramped spot. Like it didn't look like he could stretch out at all.
Well, and I guess that was maybe 3 hours down there. And it maybe took 5 hours for him to get down there.
It took him just over 2 hours to get down there.
Oh, okay.
He went a little faster than the guys before.
Probably had some sort of thruster propeller.
Possibly. But on the outside of the first sub and on like a robotic arm of James Cameron's sub, there was a Rolex.
On both of them? That's cool.
Yeah, it was a special made deep sea, like specialty Rolex, and they were like wanted to test it. So they helped, probably throw him some money, put a Rolex on there.
Yeah.
And survived both times.
Whoa, nice.
That is nuts.
Yeah. I always heard that it was like a Timex, but I guess it was a Rolex. Because Timex's thing was take a lick and keep on ticking. No,
I feel like I heard that phrase for a long time and never knew it was
for Timex.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never seen the commercial where they tape it to two samurai or sumo's bellies? They smash into each other.
That needs to go on the
I
page.
do recall seeing this at some point in my life, Dave.
That needs to go on the page,
needs
Dave.
to go on the page. All right. And then when they first, after these guys went down in the 70s, actually I think it was before they actually went down there, the different countries of the world had an idea that the water at the bottom was stagnant, like there were no ocean currents, so it didn't like ever get refreshed. So they thought it'd be a good idea just to throw a bunch of nuclear waste down there.
Oh,
yeah, like, that's what we'll do with it. We'll just throw it in the Mariana Trench. But after they did the expedition and like took their samples, they're like, no, there's an ocean current down there. If we would have dumped nuclear waste, it would have just spread out and contaminated the world.
Ugh. Yeah, because there was stuff from Japan that made it all the way over to Oregon, right?
Yeah, from the
There's a current by that.
Fukushima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always interested in, like, they say that there is traces of, like, DDT and, like, LSD and stuff like that from, like, being in the water. There's traces of that being on Mount Everest. And it's just, like, it's kind of crazy. But now, doing this research, they've found little plankton guys in the Marianas Trench, which is deeper than Mount Everest is tall. Then they found traces of like pesticides and other like human chemicals with
Well, I
no
think
escaping it.
one of the last unmanned submergibles that they went down there, they found a fucking plastic bag.
Yep, they found a plastic bag, Budweiser can.
Oh, really?
I saw a picture of a full unopened can of Spam. I saw a picture of.
Jeez.
And the plastic bag was found as low as 35,849 feet. And the beer cans and plastic bottles have been found around 16,000 feet.
That's like I was saying.
Yeah.
You can hike 3 days into the woods and look down, and there'll be a pack of crumpled up cigarettes or something.
Yeah. That bitch will be empty, though.
Right.
You know that guy smoked them all.
Oh, yeah.
Was that the bad news you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, the humans are trash people.
Yeah, it's hard to live with us.
Fully agree.
Most species won't be around much longer, so that's okay. We'll kill them off.
Yeah, we'll just have us
Put them
to
out of
hang
their
with.
misery.
We'll keep the emus, though.
Yeah, because they make auto commercials for us. You guys got anything else?
That was pretty much all I had. I don't know how long we've been doing it. So we got this new podcast set up. What do you think of the setup, Paul? How do you feel right now?
Well, as I'm sitting here looking, I feel like I always pictured, because I did see the rendering of your basement. I just did not know where you would have the studio part of it at.
Well, this is new. This is the second time we've recorded on the stage. We used to record at the bar, because that's where my desktop computer is. But so this is new. You're the first one to sit over here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And do it with us.
I guess Matt wanted to have like a more permanent area so we didn't have to like keep setting it up.
Yeah, I kept having to take it down when I wanted to play video games and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's always a work in progress.
Oh, always. I'll never stop.
Ever.
Never stop, Dave.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Boredom is the root of all disappointment.
Yeah. What were some of you guys' most interesting facts you thought that you heard about this trench?
The thing that really got my head just absolutely burning was Mount Everest.
Fitting in it?
That actually the height of Mount Everest could be fully submerged and there'd still be like over a mile
Yeah, that's crazy.
of water over it.
Right.
My gosh.
Mine was probably I liked seeing a lot of the pictures of the the creatures down there.
Yeah.
I mean they were all strange looking, but it's like down there is like a different planet. It's like Venus,
Right.
You know? So like for them to be able to survive, they can't almost look anything like the things that we see normally.
Yeah. I just like seeing a lot of the animals, or not animals, a lot of the fish and everything would have enlarged eyes.
Oh, yeah.
So basically whatever bit of tiny light there would be, that it could have just like a tiny little bit of light and still be able to maybe see something over here. Or some of them had sensory on their faces.
Like cats.
Yeah.
Or whiskers.
Around their mouths. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I liked all the clickbait that if you look it up on YouTube where it's like, you'll never believe what they found at the bottom of the Marianas Trench. And then it'll be like, this worm.
It'll be like, but it's like a picture of Cthulhu or something.
Yeah, and then it's all like just normal scientific stuff.
Yeah.
Or they'll talk about, after that Jason Statham movie came out, there was a lot of Megalodon.
Was that the Meg or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize Jason Statham was in that.
Yeah, he's the main guy.
That's funny.
You know he beat the crap out of that shark.
Yeah.
You know it.
I think there's a part where he kicks it.
Gah. Damn. Jaws is a good flick.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is it Shark Week yet? I wanted to do something to do with the ocean around Shark Week. I saw they have a bunch of shark stuff on Disney Plus right now.
Yeah. Is that your jam?
No, my brother used to watch it a lot. He would go through like seasons, like a TV show.
Yeah.
You know, like I'd go over there and sometimes it'd be true crime for like 3 weeks in a row, and then it'd be sitcoms for 3 weeks in a row, and it would be Shark Week for a week.
Yeah. I get
That's
that.
funny. Yeah.
My new kick is American Pickers.
You liar. Are you
Nope.
serious? Oh, yuck.
It's not too bad. It's just that short guy with the beard.
Frank?
Frank.
Yeah, he's just like, sometimes he's a little off-putting or like a little too like haggle. Like, well, it's got a broken thing here. How about 5? And then we're like, I can turn around and sell it for 100.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like that kind of stuff. I mean, it's all fake.
It's like the first season I'm watching, so it's less fake, but you know.
I guess maybe at least they're trying.
I actually had some conversation with the guy.
Yeah.
Me and Laura, when we were coming back from our honeymoon, we actually saw him at the airport in Detroit.
Oh,
and he was getting
weird.
on the same flight with us. Yeah.
That's funny.
I just happened to ask him when we were at luggage claim in Moline at the airport. I'm like, what did you find good in Detroit? He just like basically looked at me and said, "Not much."
That is funny. So,
I don't know how long we've been recording for. It's in like, I don't know if it's in seconds or some sort of weird. It's like counting to. Oh, it's doing like beats per minute. You guys are fucking dead on.
It's because we've worked together for a long time.
I wonder if I could put a metronome on here. I don't need to, but I could.
right. I think we've been going at least 40 minutes.
Okay.
But we
You
probably
did-
started.
You did hit record, right?
Oh shit.
Have you ever done a whole show without recording?
We've done some stuff like that. There was one that we all of a sudden noticed that it wasn't recording.
Yeah.
And then we had to go back like 20 minutes into our conversation. But that 20 minutes that we redid was really good.
So yeah, if you could go over and do everything over for every podcast,
Yeah, we're going to...
would it get better every time?
Like if we the same topics.
Yeah. So say like Tuesday, if us three come here and we do the same thing again, would it be more polished?
It would be more polished. But, and you know what? Maybe polished isn't the right word. Worn.
More worn.
Yeah, like a pair of jeans when you start getting like that outline of your cell phone in the pocket. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It's like not necessarily good, but they fit better. You know, those jeans fit better.
I could see that. It would be less stumbling on your notes because you would know the
Dave,
stuff.
don't act like you still wouldn't be flipping around your 100 sheets of paper in your notebook.
Well,
It's always just kidding. I love you, baby.
Davey.
Davey.
No, you should see my notebook. I just have this piece of paper, but it's like so fat from just like cramming
Sticky
so much
notes.
into it. Yeah.
So many details.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I struggle with, because what I should do is research way further in advance and then just freshen up right before the podcast. I like to do a lot of research the day of the podcast because it stays fresh in my mind. If I don't write everything down, at least I can recall it pretty well.
Right.
But yeah, maybe if and like the planning, like we were talking about with Simcoe and Iron Invasion, like being able to know promotional stuff, I guess, and not necessarily like we got. Check out the blueroomlounge.com and check out our merch page.
Yes.
We got that down pretty good because we say it all the time, but having down some of the things that I enjoy promoting, like promoting stickers and stuff is fun, but I like making them, but it's that's maybe more of a little bit of a Bills thing.
Right, but also being like, oh, I heard August 19th, Root
Yeah.
Punch is going to be playing at Stomp Box.
Yeah, but that will have already happened.
No. Because it would be the 15th this one comes out.
Oh. See, I still don't know.
We need a big calendar,
Yeah.
a dry erase calendar.
Big Blue Ribbon Lounge calendar.
Yeah.
Kick it up one more notch. Get a teleprompter.
Oh.
Like John Madden would use. X's and O's.
X's and O's, baby.
Bam. Here's your day.
There you go.
What do you think about video, Paul? Should we do video?
Sure.
So, you would like to be on the video?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's good to know.
Well, I think that way we can also double dip into YouTube.
I've also thought about like doodling things. Oh, and you know what? Paranatural Podcast just did that.
Yeah. They go check them out on YouTube. They put up some of their episodes and they got doodles and
Yeah,
pictures.
and like Microsoft Paint.
Right.
I was watching a guy drawing and doing a role-playing game, and I may have seen them a little close together, which is why I was thinking of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Paranatural Podcast. What episodes have you listened to, Paul? Are you a wizard or what?
I have been through quite a few episodes.
What's your favorite?
My favorite one probably would be the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, that was a good one. It was
You
a lot
guys
of
had
different
a
stories.
lot of good coverage on a lot of different topics and a lot of things plane-wise with the military. I thought that was really cool, and the ships, and I've been to the Bermuda Triangle. I put my feet in it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And you're still here.
Still here.
You got a little ticking in the brain, but
Yeah. A little more of my hair fell out, but that's okay. It's all sacrifices, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, we just got a new sticker made. For sure, stickers are up. The Bender and Fry stickers are up on the website, so you can get those.
ShopAbernathy.com.
ShopAbernathy.com. Just search for Blue Ribbon Lounge, or you can check out BlueRibbonLounge.com, and there's a merch link, maybe even a show note link to merch.
Yeah.
But those are up, and I'll get you one of those, Paul, so you can walk away a real winner today.
Yes.
Yes.
Nobody leaves empty-handed.
Working on a new design. The idea came from Davey, and I doodled something up, and finally got Dave to look at it, and we're gonna make a couple of tweaks, and I think it's gonna look really good.
The creativity with you two is off the charts. Truly jealous.
Well, thank you, Paul.
Yeah. Well, wait till you see the sticker.
Right. And thank you for coming in today.
Yeah, so much, man.
Guys, thanks for having me. It's been a blast.
Yeah, so super glad. Send us a line, I guess, if you want to stop into the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast. We got a lot of topics coming up, and there's some Halloween stuff and Christmas stuff that we got to do. But maybe we'll be able to find some more time for some listeners.
Ooh-hoo-hoo.
Yes, and if you enjoyed Paul on this podcast, go to the Blue Ribbon Lounge Facebook page and just give a little shout out to Paul.
Yeah, we'll make sure he's on that page. So
That he's a member. Yeah.
yeah, from now on, only members of the Facebook page can come on.
Right.
Maybe not.
Start getting members-only jackets for everybody.
Ooh,
Oh,
members
there you
only.
go.
Yeah, I think we did plenty of plugs. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, we got it.
Well, if you had a good time, I'm glad.
Yes. Rate, leave a comment, like, subscribe, ring
Yeah.
that bell.
Bang the gong, party on.
Hand check.
All right, say goodbye, Paul.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
Yeah, you guys have a good one. Be good to
Yes.
yourselves.
And remember, as the Beastie Boys would say, race on race is such a waste. It's like cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Jesus, sometimes they're long.
Oh.
See you guys. Oh, that was weird.
Thank you, Windows.
You've got mail.
Virus threat protection detected.